Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you all had a wonderful holiday season and New Year's. This New Year's I spent in Portland, Oregon with Alejandro and his cousins. We got to go hiking and try some amazing food. The views were beautiful. It was so refreshing. So today, I want to talk to you all about something that's kind of been chipping away at me. It's something where I feel like if I'm going to continue this channel, I need to be upfront with you guys about something that I struggle with. Now this is something that has, I think, been passed down from my mom's side of the family, and I just feel that I need to be honest and clear and upfront with you guys. Basically, the issue is, I am a germaphobe. That's right, you heard it from the source. Man, that's a huge weight off my shoulders. So this affects me in many ways. I struggle to touch airplane tray tables, elevator buttons, ATMs, public pens, sometimes touch screens, anything that is not typically washed that often. And this isn't just about cold and flu germs. If some raw chicken or raw egg touches my sink, Lord, I am scrubbing those down later. Get me some Dawn or Palmolive up in her! You can ask Alejandro, one of our biggest fights has been about having peeled potatoes in the sink that was not clean to my liking. This stems from one big fear of mine, and that is getting sick. Now, do I get less colds or flus than the average person? I'd like to think so. Is having a flu or a cold that bad? Not necessarily, but it's something that is constantly on my mind. If I can avoid getting sick and getting a cold, or if I can avoid unnecessary trips to the toilet, you can bet I'm gonna try to. But when I do have to touch public phones, or fast food trays, or shopping carts, or when I shake someone's hand, you can bet that I'm gonna be scrubbing my hands with soap later. Having clean hands gives me the peace of mind I need to go about my day. So why am I bringing this up with you? One of my favorite Bible passages, Psalm 24, verses 3 through 5. Who may ascend the hill of the Lord, or who may stand in his holy place? He who has clean hands and a pure heart, who has not lifted up his soul to an idol, nor sworn deceitfully, he shall receive blessing from the Lord and righteousness from the God of his salvation. So God won't let us up to his holy place without clean hands. So this leads me to the question, is God a germaphobe? So let's discuss this. What is the definition of a germaphobe? Well, being the millennial that I am, I'll go to the ultimate authoritative source for definitions, which is Urban Dictionary. Now, Urban Dictionary defines a germaphobe as any person who is obsessed with cleanliness and defeating bacteria. Breaking this definition down for you, I want to prove 3 points. Number 1, that God is a person. Number 2, that God is obsessed with cleanliness. And number 3, that he's obsessed with defeating bacteria. Part 1, God is a person. Theologians describe a person as an individual being who has a mind, emotions, and a will. Now, reading the Bible, God definitely has all 3. He has thoughts, he can get angry or compassionate, he has a will of what he wants to happen. So I give this part 1 a big check. Part 2, God is obsessed with cleanliness. Now 1 John 1:9 says, if we confess our sins, God is faithful and just to forgive us our sins and to cleanse us from all unrighteousness. In Ezekiel 36:25, God is speaking to Israel and says, I will sprinkle clean water on you, and you shall be clean from all your uncleanlinesses, and from all your idols I will cleanse you. Now there are plenty of other examples in the Bible showing God is obsessed with cleanliness. So I give part 2 a big check. Part 3, God is obsessed with defeating bacteria. Now hear me out here, I'm going to get a little creative. Back in biblical times, they used lactic acid bacteria along with other wild yeasts to cause dough to rise. Now basically what would happen is these bacteria and yeasts would eat through the natural sugar in the dough, and it would cause the dough to become more airy and to rise. The Bible almost always uses leaven as a symbol for sin. That just a little bit of sin can work its way and corrupt the entire being, just as a little bit of leaven can work its way in a bit of dough and cause the entire batch to rise. Now that we've likened bacteria to sin, I don't think it's any stretch to say God is obsessed with defeating sin. Since sin first arrived, God has been dead set on restoring the relationship between him and humankind. In the Old Testament, he taught us how to cover our sins and to make sacrifices continually. In the New Testament, he gave us the permanent solution, which is that Jesus died for our bacteria, for our sin. As Hebrews 10:10 says, "And we have been made holy through the sacrifice of the body of Jesus Christ once for all." He provided us with the antibiotic needed to cure our terminal bacterial infection. So if I'm counting, that makes 3 checks and proves that God is indeed a germaphobe, of sorts. In conclusion, how can we have clean hands and a pure heart? By accepting Jesus in our heart and trusting in Him to cleanse us. No need to fear germs or sicknesses any longer. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please leave your comments down below and give this video a big old thumbs up. And feel free to click the subscribe button and click that little notification bell if you want to get notified when I post new videos. Stay blessed, my friends.